everyone, welcome to Hunter Gatherer Cooking, where today I'm going to show you the easiest way that you can smoke meat at home, and it's virtually foolproof. Okay, this is what I would recommend you start with. Something cheap. We got this from Aldi. It doesn't get much cheaper than that. £6.39. You've pretty much got a kilo there, and it's just a beef roasting joint. The only downside to this is you probably don't really know what you've got there. But in terms of Aldi, they're pretty good. So get yourself a bit of beef and then head over to the barbecue. Okay, so this is the setup that you're going to use. You're going to use sort of a mini snake method, basically using briquettes, not charcoal. You just want to make sure that you use briquettes. I'm using these from Big Cocoshell barbecue briquettes because they work brilliantly. I have counted, there's 27 here and there's 15 in the chimney starter here. And what you want to do is you want to go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 all the way along, and then you want to leave a space here, and then you just go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 around like that, basically. So nice and easy. And then you just put your wood. I'm using oak dowels just around the edge, and they will burn slowly. And the plan is to light these, get it going, then you empty them onto here, onto this platform, and then it will burn round very, very slowly. Like that, basically. So first things first, you want to get this lit. I always use Lacto Woods firelighters because you don't get any of that chemical smell. So we'll just leave that for a little bit and get that going first. Okay, whilst that's getting ready, you can prep your meat. Okay, now the reason why we're using a cheap cut is because if you do manage to fudge this up, it's not going to cost a fortune. But it also works out really, really well. So you can prep your meat any way you want to. Take it out of your packaging, and then I'm actually going to remove this netting. You just don't need it, so that's going to come off in just a second. So I've just pulled that net off, and then personally I would keep it as simple as you can to start with. I'm just going to use this, which is basically just salt, pepper, garlic. That's all it is. And just go straight over the top like that. Rub that in a little bit, turn it over, and then do exactly the same on that side. Now you don't have to do this. You could use your own rubs if you want to. You could go completely plain to start with if you want to build up to see what your taste buds are craving. But basically just do all sides. Let's get this side done. And that could be as red as you want it to be. So for this video, because it's beginner's guide, that's all I'm going to do. Literally just one sort of base coating of salt, pepper, garlic. Okay, so the next thing that you're going to want to do is you want to get your thermometer, whichever one you're using. I like to use the Meter Pros because they're wireless. I can just set it up on the app. But whether you're using a wired one or what, basically you want to make sure that that probe is in the middle of your cut of meat. So in this case, I'm going to go straight in sort of that way. So it's going to go in there. There we go. And it just pokes out there like that. But I now know that the sensor's right in the middle, which is where we're going to set the temperature range. If you're interested in meter, you do get 15% off with Hunter Gatherer Cooking. The code and the link and the details will be in the description below. And the coals should nearly be ready. They're not quite ready. So whilst we're waiting, if you can just hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up. Also let me know, comment sort of if you try this, how you get on. You could always post some pictures on the Facebook page or tag me on Instagram, something like that. Okay, so those coals are as good as they need to be now. And then what you want to do is try and just pour them over that one end. Like that. Now what's going to happen is your coals are going to go all over the place. So you're going to want to grab your barbecue tools, and then I like to just pile these up like that, just the way that you want them. Now
what you'll find, hopefully, is one, that you really enjoy this. And you'll find for slower smokes, when you go in longer, possibly even lower as well, is that this snake will come all the way around like that. And this is called the snake method. But because we're just going to do a really, really short one, because I want this to be available for anyone to try, we won't need much more than that, if that at all. So this is actually only going to smoke for about an hour or so, but it'll give you a flavour of what I do, and hopefully you'll get into it. So we're just going to put the lid on now with the grill on, like that, and we'll go get the meat. Okay, I'm going to try and do this all one-handed. So basically, that'll be smoking away as it is now, and you want to put your meat, I would put it opposite, like that, okay? Grills at the bottom, sorry, vents at the bottom, make sure they're open. And then your vent up on top, you want this open as well. And then what's going to happen is the smoke will roll over the meat like this. The meat is away from the heat, and basically you're going to then just literally wait for that to come up to temperature. On the iPad how the meter works, if you're using any other temperature, any other thermometer, it's basically the same. So, so first of all, I've got two readings. This is the internal temperature, and then that's basically the temperature outside. That's starting to warm up. That will hit about sort of 225, 250. All you do to get this going is you tap set up cook, beef, roast. It doesn't really matter too much. We'll just go other for now. Now, I personally, we like it sort of like a rare. We are going to reverse sear this as well, so I would probably recommend rare. If you want it pink, that's the one to go for. So 125. If you're not using a meter and just using a wire thermometer, set it up for 125. The second it hits that, take it off. Okay, but 125, that's your magic number. But if you are using meter, you just hit start cook, and you wait. There we go. And just to sort of prove that it is obviously smoking, you get some lovely, lovely oaky smoke straight off of that. You don't have to use oak, you could use something else. I'm just trying to keep today really, really simple for you. Okay, so we're about 7 minutes away from finishing. So what I've done, and you don't have to do this, but I've just lit up the gas barbecue purely because I don't want to do it inside because we get loads of smoke. But basically this pan is heating up. We're going to chuck some butter, and we're going to chuck some rosemary and some thyme in there. And then we're going to do something called a reverse sear, where basically it's been smoking over in the kettle. It's hit the temperatures that we want, and literally we're just going to put a nice crust and butter glaze that right at the end. Okay, so meat's in, just come off the barbie, and it's literally, it's just going to, it's hot. It's literally, it's just having a minute or so just on all the sides, just to get that like a lovely crispy colour. Colour is looking amazing. So you can scoop the butter out. I'm doing this one-handed so I can't, but normally you'd probably angle down that pan like that, scoop that butter up and just start glazing it like that. That is looking absolutely unreal. Again, you don't want to do this for too long because otherwise you're going to raise the temperature of that meat, and then it's going to be more done than you wanted. So I'm happy with what we've got there. There we are. Then you want to get it on your board, a little bit of butter over the top again if you want to. Get this meter pulled out, and then you want to let that rest. Good sort of 5 or 10 minutes. Little tip for you, just to save some of these coals. If you separate them like that, then we've saved, what have we saved? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so 7. And then that's still hot. You could go again on that if you want to do some fruit or something. The meat's cooling, so we'll cut into that in a second. There we go. And then when it's all cut up, it will look something like that. Absolutely stunningly pink, lovely little smoke ring on it. It's the easiest thing in the world to do, and I guarantee that will taste absolutely amazing. So we're going to eat this now. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. So that is the basics of smoking a piece of meat. That meat is so tender when it comes out. You can cook it longer, you can cook it shorter. The average temperature on that one was a little bit higher today, so about sort of 250-ish. But you can play with this, but that is as easy as it gets. And if you follow that every single time, you will smoke meat
it'll be to perfection, especially if you use the meter as well, because it's deadly accurate. If you haven't got one, you just use a wired one, or you could even just keep testing it, but you're going to need to keep an eye on that. The next thing that you can start doing is experimenting with rubs and things like that. I'll talk you through that at some point. And then you can do chickens and lamb, like whatever you want basically. So I really do hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and please let me know sort of how you get on, especially if you're a beginner. I'm more than happy to sort of help you through your first one if needs be. Follow me on Facebook or Instagram, drop me a message, tell me what you're doing, and I'll give you my advice. I'll see you soon, guys.